Okay. All right. Well, Tiffany, I just want to make sure you are very aware that we want to help you reach your goal. Okay, we don't want
Yeah.
you to see us as a roadblock or trying to stop you. We're like, okay, let's figure out a way to help you achieve your goal of being a school counselor. I don't know the history and how you got the impression that this program, the professional life coaching, would get there, but Dr. King, there's not. Is there any way that you see that degree achieving school counseling certification?
Um, no. I think I'm more interested before we even start talking about any things, if you can just give us a little background,
Yeah.
because I've not been involved in all of this. And so the question was, what are the requirements for the school counselor certification? So if you can just provide a little background and I can tell you what the requirements are. So if you can tell us how you applied to the university, how you got to this point, that would be great information.
Well, so the only reason I got into this degree is because I believe the person that I talked to when I applied was Timothy. Was the advisor's name, Timothy Helm, I think. And he was the one who, like, I told him like what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do an online degree because I'm a teacher. And he said that so he looked up, he Googled the TA requirements for school counseling, and he was just kind of like, well, it just looks like you need a counseling degree. Like, it doesn't have to be anything specific. So he said, you can enroll in the human services counseling one, because that was the one that was offered online. Because I'm guessing the professional counseling one wasn't offered online. The professional school counseling of education isn't offered online. So I told him that I needed to do one online, and so he went to, that's what, like I said, he went to TEA, and he looked and said, well, it looks like you just need a counseling degree. You don't need one specifically in education to be a school counselor. So you can do this human services one for counseling. And I said, okay. And I said, so how would I do the, school counseling route and get approved for the test? And he said that you would do the degree, and then once it got closer, you would contact the Victoria lady and or whatever. And so I would contact her, and she would let me know what I needed to do to get approved for the test. So that's kind of what I did. I've been taking the degree, and so I called again, maybe around March, April, and I said, so what do I need to do to get approved for the test? And then they said, you need to contact Victoria. And so I contacted her. I didn't hear back. And then they said, well, she just took over or something like that, of like 3/4 of the department, something like that. So the only other person I could probably tell you to contact would be Dr. Cook. And you should hopefully hear back from him because he's over her. And I said, okay, cool, I'll contact him. So I contacted him, and then that's kind of how we ended up here, is now where apparently I'm not supposed to be taking this degree. And now I'm on the wrong, direction. So I've literally just been kind of listening to them and just, doing what they've been telling me to do. And so that's why it's kind of like it's a waste of time, because they've been telling me the wrong thing. Because if they would have told me, well, we can't do school counseling because we don't offer it online, then I would have never chosen that degree and I would have moved on to something else.
Okay. What I can tell you is what the Texas code, the Texas Administrative Code, I can read it to you, what it says is required for school counseling. I did look at your master's from Prairie View, your master's of arts in counseling from Prairie View, after your communication was shared.
Right.
So they eventually started CCing me. So I looked at your transcript and your degree. I think the issue is, I also looked at your account in TEA, and you've never taken the school counseling exam.
No.
So when you graduated with your Master of Arts in Counseling in the early 2000s, Was it your intent to do school counseling then?
Yes.
Okay, so did you reach out to TEA in an attempt to take the exam already? I'm trying to figure out where.
I reached out to Prairie View to approve me to take the test, but
Okay.
they got audited, and a lot of their classes, they were not supposed to allow a lot of us to take for our degrees. So TEA flagged them. And so they are not able to approve people to take their test, to approve people to take the test. So that's why I had to come to HBU and get an entire, like another master's degree in counseling.
Okay, well, I went to Prairie View's website, their
Mhm.
education, and their School of Education, it is accredited. And under their School of Education, they have the Masters of Arts in Counseling as a 36-hour program. You
Right.
graduated with 39 hours,
Right.
but the school counseling program requires a 48-hour master's degree in order to be able to take the test. So
Right.
their program is still accredited. It is the degree you have doesn't meet the requirement because it doesn't have the 48 hours with the school counseling additional coursework that led you and prepared you for that exam. That, from what I gathered just researching your files and Prairie View's files and the code for Texas, that's the information I could gather. So does that sound like what you understand?
So when I reached out to Prairie View, they did not, like, I knew from what Texas code about the 48-hour degree. So I knew that. But when I talked to Prairie View, they made it seem like I could not go back and get the extra 9 hours, whatever I needed, because whatever audit they got, some of the classes that I guess I took, like one of the classes was, I guess, maybe like practicum or something, or one of the classes that is on my degree. I don't know if it was practicum or something. I was only allowed or supposed to take if I was already a teacher, like a teacher of record under administration in a classroom. And I was not a teacher of record when I got my master's. I did not start teaching until after I graduated. So I don't want to say a lot, but some of those classes that are on that 39-hour degree, when I reached out to Prairie View, they said when they got audited, TEA flagged those classes because they allowed me to take them when I was not allowed to take them. So they said that that's why they would not allow me, like I could take the extra 9 hours, but like TEA would not be okay with the degree, I guess, to where they could approve me because there were certain classes that I took that I was not allowed to take. I know practicum was one of them because they said you're supposed to be a teacher of record and you were not a teacher until after you graduated. That was one of them. And I think they mentioned a couple more, but I can't remember what they were.
Right, because the counseling requirement is 2 years of classroom experience.
Right.
Before moving into that. And so you had not done that. So
no, I was not a teacher until after I graduated in 2012. I did not start teaching until the fall of 2012, and I graduated in the spring of 2012. So they were saying that some of those classes were invalid anyway.
Okay.
So then
Now
they're
you
like,
have 2 years as a teacher.
No, I had not started teaching until after I graduated with my master's.
But now.
Yes.
So yes, now I've been teaching for 8 years. Yeah. So, and so that's why they were kind of like, sorry, but if you want to become a school counselor, you kind of have to get a whole new degree and start over. And so that's what I told my advisor when I came to HBU. And so, because I even asked him, like, is there a way I can transfer classes, like from Prairie View, like, oh my God, like, because I'm freaking out because I have to start over. And so he's like, no, you can't do that. And that's kind of what the backstory that I told him. And so he looked it up on TEA and he said, well, it looks like all you have to do is have a counselor's degree. And that's kind of how we got here. So, I was kind of already, that's kind of why I'm just so like distressed, because I've already had to start over. And so it's like the fact that I had to start over and now what I'm doing still doesn't work. It's just been a lot. And so that's why I'm just trying to figure out what I can do so that I can't I don't have to continue to start over.
Okay. Is it okay with everyone if I just kind of read the few little pieces of code that really address exactly what you need? Is that okay?
Okay.
Because I think that will help tremendously. So it says, in order to receive the standard school counselor certificate, a candidate must. The first one is successfully complete a school counselor preparation program that meets the requirement of 23910, which I attached. Well, I've attached it below, so we'll go through that. And completes the standards required for the school counselor certificate. So the program, the master's program that you would take in counseling, has to address and teach the standards that are in code.
Right.
So that's the first piece. The second piece is that you have to pass the test.
Right.
And then the third is it has to be at a minimum a 48-hour degree.
Right.
And it does say in counseling. So it doesn't say specifically, it just says a Master of Arts in counseling from an accredited institution and recognized by TEA and have 2 years of teaching experience. So that is what it says. So it does have to be a Master of Arts in counseling. Now, what does have to happen? Oh, you already pulled it up for me. I was looking at it. I was like, wait, where did mine go? So then the issue is it can be a Master of Arts in Counseling. HBU has the degree that is the Master's in Education for school counseling. So it meets all the requirements laid out in 23915, which are the actual standards required for the program. So I'm guessing that's maybe not new to you. And
no.
So I think your question is the courses that you took last spring, my understanding is you signed up for the Masters of Mental Health Student Services, which one?
Master of Arts in Human Services Counseling.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cause when I like I said, I told him my backstory. So I told him, I'm here so that I can start over and, get my degree to be a school counselor. So I said, I don't know specifically what degree I need to get. I just know that I need to get the one specifically in school counseling. And so that's kind of when he said, okay, well, let me go look on the TEA website. And so he said, well, it looks like you just need a degree in counseling. So the one in the Master of Arts in Human Services Counseling should be fine. And so he said, you can take this degree and it will get you to where you need to be. And
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of, how it works. Now, the 48-hour part, I did not know until after this happened, where I emailed Dr. Cook and Karen sent me the email back and said, this is what TEA needs you to do. So I was not aware of the 48-hour part. That part I obviously know now because I read it. But, like I said, when I first came, it was just kind of like, no, you just need a degree in counseling. So, but I mean, I kind of trusted him because, obviously he's the advisor. So that's just kind of where I've been going with it because, I was assuming that it would get me into the school counselor era. And so that's why when I emailed, Dr. Cook, I'm kind of like, okay, blindly saying, well, what do I need to do now to, get my approved for the test? Because that's what I'm thinking I'm supposed to do. And then now I find out it's not. So obviously it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, I'm doing what I was told, but obviously what I was told was incorrect.
So how did you get in the life coach loop?
So he told me that I had to choose a certain like topic, like with the human services counseling, like you have to choose a certain, I guess like topic. Yeah. Like you had to choose a certain track. It was like marriage and relationships, like sexual life coaching. Yeah. And then it was like just regular life coaching. So you had to choose one to go with the degree. And so that's the one I just chose to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when I looked at your degree works, you are actually enrolled in courses that apply to the school counseling degree
Yeah,
program.
I told my husband that. I said, well, I mean, the classes that I took in the spring are all invalid. But I said, the ones that I am enrolled to take this summer do actually apply to the school counseling degree because Karen or one of you guys sent me the school counseling degree. So now that I printed that out and looked at that, I said, oh, well, the ones I'm enrolled for the summer actually do apply to it. So if I was to stay, I actually don't need to drop those. But it's just the spring semester that is really stressing me out because I took $8,000 of student loans for that for absolutely no reason because I was giving incorrect information. So it's kind of like how I just need to figure out like how that situation would be remedied because I mean, there's no reason for me to have taken those classes because none of those 4 classes that I took would be on track for me. Whereas the summer would, but the spring was not. And so, like I said, I mean, I was just blindly doing that because obviously when I emailed, Dr. Cook and Karen, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you trying to be, what are you talking about being a school counselor? Like, you haven't taken any classes. So it's like, obviously I'm blindly doing this, thinking I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not. So it's just kind of like, I don't know how that situation can be remedied, but there needs to be something because I mean, he obviously told me something that I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Okay, I do have, before we talk about that situation, 2 things. One, the school counselor program is a residential program, not an online program.
Okay.
So that's one thing, one issue that'll need to be considered. The second one is you do have to be admitted to the education preparation program because that is the arm of the School of Education that works through the certification process with TEA. So
Okay.
that is an additional application and interview that will take place. And the reason all of those have to take place is because those are auditable documents.
Okay.
And TEA does their audit.
Got it.
They look for those things. So those events will have to take place, and it is an in-person program.
Got it. Okay.
So those are two concerns that you want to have in the back of your mind moving forward.
Okay.
So
How far away do you live?
I live in the Woodlands, so I don't know if that would work out for me. And me being a full-time teacher, it probably wouldn't work out for me either. But this is also kind of the concerns that I expressed with him when we first started. I said I needed an online program, and I asked, because even when I looked online, I didn't really see an online program that would get me to be like in the education, in the school counseling realm. So I expressed those concerns with him, and that's why he went to Google and looked up TEA's requirements. And he said, no, it's okay. You can just take a counseling degree. And so you can move forward with this online degree. And that's why I moved forward with it. If he would have told me, it was a residential degree and you can't take this human services one, it won't work, then I would have just stopped there. And I wouldn't have went on with the application process. But that was not expressed to me. That's why I went forward with it because he said I could. So the residential option is not going to be an option for me. I would have to be online.
okay.
Now, one thing to be aware of, Tiffany, is that though the residential program, though the school counseling program is a residential program, it is an evening program. And I don't know if that makes it more accessible to you.
One day a week, yeah, a class with me on Monday night or Tuesday night or Wednesday or Thursday night.
Okay. I mean, it's something to think about. I think the drive is just probably what would get me,
Right.
because it's just a long drive. So that would be kind of hard for me to manage, to drive down there. And so, like I said, I mean, that was just kind of one of the things I asked him. And so, I mean, if I would have probably started that in the spring, I think for now, for sure, I probably would have just, had it done it by habit by now. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I wish I would have just known that beforehand instead of, just finding that out now for sure.
Well, I can tell you, while we are residential, we are very low enrollment, and actually looking to close because we don't have enough students in the school counseling program.
Oh,
We're looking to close it
okay.
because I've been teaching everything as an independent study. So if you are at all interested in trying to just get it done,
Mhm.
then most likely I will be your teacher for any of the school counseling classes.
Okay.
And I am happy to work with you. We can alternate 1 week face-to-face, 1 week remote, or something. We would work it out. And as long as I talk with Dr. King and I make sure that everything we do does not come back audited by TEA, and I don't want you to get in the situation you got in with Prairie View A&M.
Yeah, it was not. I found out like Christmas break when this past year Christmas break. So it was really rough. Like I had a hard time with it. So yeah, it was hard. So I definitely could not go through that again for sure.
Well, Dr. King, in looking at her, so I have not seen her A&M transcript.
Mhm.
Are there courses that you feel like we could transfer into our 48-hour program?
I looked because I'm not super familiar with the counseling curriculum and the coursework. I don't really know. Most of it did not look school related, especially when I looked at our degree plan for school counseling. Um, I imagine if going through and really looking at course descriptions, there could possibly be some relationships with the courses that might work. My concern though is being aware of the courses that they're saying you shouldn't have been able to take.
Right. You don't take those.
That would be the question as far as the transferable courses. But again, there were many of them did not, well, there were some on there that are on our degree plan, like, and I can't seem to get the degree
I
plan.
have it right here. So let
Okay.
me speak to those. There actually are a number of them.
Yeah, I thought there were several that looked like they
Yeah.
would
As I went through,
transfer.
there are a number of them. So the human growth and
That
development,
one.
career development and counseling, um, uh, psychology of abnormal behavior, could possibly appraisal techniques, cross-cultural issues, counseling techniques, group dynamics, maybe the research. Of course, you would need to make, the grade has to be a B or higher to transfer in
Okay,
those.
I know that there's one class that I did make a C in, and I went to, is that one class that would transfer over?
Not if it's a C, no.
Well, I went to TSU and I like took the same class and I made an A in it.
Okay,
So if I sent that transcript in, then I do have an A in that class. And that's the only class I should have on there that
okay,
has a C. And so yeah, I went to TSU and made an A in that one.
okay. The other thing to keep in mind, Tiffany, is technically our policy, and it states this in our catalog, is that we can transfer in up to 6 hours. But
Okay.
I can petition for an additional hours, but the maximum is up to 1/3 of the
Degree.
total hours required for the degree. So that would be, since it's a 48-hour degree, that would be 16 hours would be maximum that we could transfer in.
Okay. So
Um,
you could put in a petition to hopefully transfer in at up to 16 hours.
Up to 16 hours. So technically we're talking 5 classes if there are 3 credit hour classes.
Okay. Now, quick question. With when looking at my degree, does it look like I have anywhere near 16 hours to transfer?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
The things he's highlighted on the screen are the courses that he is saying would transfer. Is that,
Oh,
am
no.
I understanding that correct?
What she's enrolled in this summer
And that's what she's enrolled in this summer.
that
Okay.
that are on that. So I don't have her transcript, so I don't know what courses I'm even, yeah. What,
Yeah, you have at least 5 courses. Yeah, you have 5 courses that we could transfer in.
she does, okay, okay. So I would imagine that the masters did include research? Is
It did, yes.
Okay. Ethics of counseling?
No ethics,
Okay. Counseling skills and techniques?
yes,
Okay. Group?
yes.
Principles of school counseling? Probably not.
No.
Assessment and testing?
Well, if she took that one at Texas Southern, then
Then yes.
we could.
Yeah,
transfer that.
I took that one. I would just get my transcript and send it in.
Okay. So we're up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more, huh?
Career, yeah, career, and career counseling and lifestyle development.
Okay. So between the 5 transfer in and the 4 she's got this summer, or else we've already, I couldn't tell from Degree Works whether, when it says in progress, I didn't know if that meant this semester, this spring, or the summer. But
Yeah, I think this summer I'm taking the crisis response and trauma care, the 6323, I believe.
right,
Then I think I'm also taking 5317, multicultural counseling, I think.
okay,
I think I'm taking both of those. One, I know one of them sometime around, yeah.
okay,
And then in the fall, I'm also taking one of those as well. So the ones that I'm already registered for.
okay. So the in progress. What did you take this spring semester?
So the spring semester, I took all like life coaching. I took executive coaching and leadership. I took life coaching foundations 2. And then I took the introductory class, like introduction to
Human services.
Yeah.
intro to human services. And then the one I'm taking now is the second one of intro to human services, like the second human services class. So none of those will count. So that's why it's kind of like this semester was really a waste.
Mhm.
Well, you did take, you're taking theories and techniques in counseling.
Would that one count?
That one could count. Yeah,
That is this one here. I counted it for theories.
Oh, okay.
yeah. And this summer you're signed up for human growth and development, spirituality, theology, and counseling.
So you would drop the spirituality class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the crisis response and trauma care.
Yeah, I remembered that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of the highlighted ones are ones that I'm either already registered for or ones that could transfer from Prairie View.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So then I would have left the ones that are not highlighted. It looks like 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay. So that's 3.
Yeah, so there would be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 courses, so 21 hours that you would
Okay.
have to do.
left.
Yep.
And I could add, since in the fall, I think I'm only registered for one class. I think the other one I might have to drop. I could add those 21 hours to the fall, right?
Well, you would only take a maximum of generally of 12 hours at a time.
Right. I think the fall I'm only registered for 6 hours.
Okay. So the other issue is that for some of these classes, for example, the principles of school counseling
Right.
and the advanced school counseling and leadership,
Right.
including the practicum and internship. Those are residential courses only.
Right. Right. I remember.
Those are the ones that I would be willing to work with you because it'll be an independent study.
Right.
And
I mean,
okay.
yeah, I mean, if I could do that where, because the 21 hours, like the ones that I'm already signed up for are all online. So, I can do those for sure. Now, the rest of the 21 hours, well, I know, some of them, are all of the rest of the 21 going to be residential, or are some of them going to be online, or are all of them going to be residential?
You could take, what we would need to do, Tiffany, is, I'm just trying to figure out how best to do this. So the difficulty is our Masters of Education in School Counseling is only a residential program. It's not offered online.
Right.
So what I'm not sure about is whether or not we do offer a Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling online. And so, for example, ethical and legal issues in counseling is offered
Mm-hmm.
online for that program. Clinical psychopathology is offered online for that program.
Okay.
Counseling children, adolescents, and families is offered online for that program.
Okay.
But the others are residential only.
Right.
So what I'm not entirely sure of is, could we sign you up? Could we transfer you into the Masters of Education in School Counseling, allow you to take those 3 courses online, and then do the others working with Dr. Fredericks in some capacity? That's what I'm wondering.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we could do that, I could probably make that work, and then the others I could work with her and like come 1 week and face to face the other week. I could definitely make that work for sure.
So Dr. Fredericks, Dr. King, do you see any difficulty with that sort of arrangement?
No, especially if you can take this Principles of School Counseling this summer, because there's another student, and it would be easier for me to have 2 students in the independent study than to have to do it once for her and separately for you. So if we can, work that schedule for the 3 of us to meet, every other week, or else even 1 week intensive, or,
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, the summer is definitely better for me to meet, especially with being a teacher because I'm not in school.
Yeah.
So I could definitely work that out for sure. Yeah, because I'm not teaching, so I could definitely work that out to come meet for that too.
Mhm.
My only question is that you have the online question mark next to the practicum and the internship. I'm not quite sure why that's there.
I just wanted, I was asking Dr. Cook, I wanted to make sure that is that's allowable, because we've done it this semester, right, with the other school counseling students.
But that was mostly because of the COVID allowances with things being virtual.
Yeah. Well, when you do the practicum, those have to be hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Which will be easy because, I mean, obviously I see why they don't want you to do practicum until you're teaching, because, you're supposed to do it, the hours with the counselors and things like that. So now that I am a teacher, it's obviously easier for me to do. So,
Yeah.
I understand why you're not supposed to do it until you're a teacher of record. So that part I do understand. Like, I know practicum, the hours I do have to get. So that I'm fully committed to do. So I'm fine with that.
And again, Dr. King, if you feel like I need to be the teacher of record because I'm a certified school counselor, then we'll work that. We were willing to do that this semester for the students.
Yes, that is the requirement. So
Then I would need to be the teacher of record, and then we'll do an independent study. And is TEA allowing remote supervision?
Well, they were under the COVID under the COVID allowances, they were allowing that. I do not know if they are going to continue to allow that. That's a question I'll have to ask.
Well, if they allow it, we'll do it. If not, then we'll work it out again.
Yeah.
So this one will say again, independent study online, hopefully. We're gonna get to know each other really well.
Yeah. Yes, very true.
So which was the other transfer, Dr. Cook? We've got research, group. I know there was 5.
Research, yeah, let me get back to, so research, group.
Was it multicultural? No, she signed up.
There's a cross-cultural issues class. Yeah,
So, but I think she signed up for multicultural at HBU. So we weren't counseling skills.
career development, career counseling development.
Got that one.
Okay.
I think it was counseling skills and techniques.
Yes, counseling techniques.
Okay. All right. So everybody sees we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 transfer credits from the Prairie View A&M that we will need to do course notations for. Then you're enrolled or have already taken human growth and development, multicultural theories, and crisis response. So those 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And then really, none of us are decision makers on what to do about this spring semester and the courses that you took. So we're just going to have to talk with, it's going to have to go way up the line, and we're not going to have an immediate answer
Okay.
on that. But
yeah, that's fine. It's just,
do you want this? You know, we want to try to get you the school counselor certification anyway.
yes, that's absolutely what I want. Like, that's been my passion since I was little. I mean, my mom is a school counselor, and she's been,
neat.
Yeah, my mom's been a school counselor since like I was in like 7th grade. So, and I'm 31. So that tells you, how much it's just been in my family. So it's something that I really, want. So if I could do that, it would be great. And so, yeah, I mean, just for the spring, I mean, I was just trying to figure out how I could, I know the theories in tech that will count. So if I could just figure out something, I guess, for the other 3 classes that aren't counting, like something to maybe like apply that financial aid to another semester or something, that would be great, just so that I won't feel like, just so I won't have to like pay that money back for classes that I didn't need to take.
Right.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Something to, help with that, because like, paying back $8,000 is not going to be fun for classes that I didn't need to take. So.
Okay. So 3 classes basically you have taken. And Dr.
Yeah, 3 classes. So now that I know the theory, I'm going to write that down. It's the theories and techniques in counseling, right? I'm going to write that on a sticky note, so I know that's the class that is going to count. And right. Then, so the class that I got a C in, I do need to go to TSU and send that to you guys, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I will put that on my to-do list. Okay. Wow, this makes my birthday a lot better. Today's my birthday, and so.
Oh, happy
birthday!
Thank you. So, I was like freaking out about my school. So I'm like, oh my God, now I feel so much better.
Oh, great.
So, now I'm like, okay, now I can breathe a little bit. I can enjoy my birthday dinner.
There you go.
Also, going forward, do we just contact Karen or I feel like we need a set person?
Copy both of us because he's my department chair in my doing this. So I want him to know everything I'm doing and that we're not telling you different things.
Okay.
Okay, and there will still need to be the EPP application filed,
Okay.
and the interview will still need to take place. Only because those are auditable documents.
Okay.
So
So
that should be no issue.
So on those, Dr. King, can you send Tiffany the?
yeah, I was about to say, do I need to go to the website and get that, or do?
I'll have to check. It usually comes through graduate admissions.
Okay.
So we would probably need to go back to Myra, because she does the education side of of graduate admissions. And so this
Okay.
would actually end up being a master's of education, not a master's of arts in counseling.
Okay.
It'll still be a counseling degree, but
Right.
it'll be a master of education rather than a master of arts. So I will contact Myra to let her know.
Okay.
And I guess I can copy, Lindsay would be the person in residential graduate studies for psychology. So, or for behavioral sciences. So I'll contact her, I'll copy her as well, to see where we need to go with that. But they should send that request to you to complete that application.
Okay.
And,
So they
and
will
just-
send it. Okay.
yeah, and to schedule the interview as well, because the interviews are scheduled through the graduate admissions office.
Can that be rushed so she can take courses this summer or?
Oh, yeah. She's already enrolled in the courses that apply anyway, so it's not gonna impact registration and course enrollment for her at all. It's a formality that we'll just need to complete because it's audited. It's an auditable activity. So it won't impact her registration and beginning her courses for summer semester at all.
And then I believe there was a course that you said that does not count that she's taking in the summer. Is that correct?
She needs to drop. Yes, there's a course she needs to drop.
So are you guys gonna go ahead and do that for her, drop it and put in another course that she needs to take, or how do we need to handle
Yeah.
that?
Or can I do that, or?
What,
Yes.
I'll have to send you the independent study form for the principles of school counseling.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll email you that.
I think I can drop it on my own though, can't
Yes.
I?
You
Yeah,
should
I
be able
can
to drop it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the COUN 5319 spirituality, theology, and
Okay.
counseling.
So that's the one I need to drop.
Yes.
Okay. So let me write that down. Counseling 5319. And that's the second summer term, right?
It is
It
actually
doesn't
the
tell me
first
here.
summer term.
Oh, that's the first. Okay. So I need to drop that now. Okay.
The one you're dropping, I'm not sure.
Oh,
The one you will be taking.
okay. So I think the ones I'm taking, I think both of them might apply for the first summer term. I think both of them might apply, but as long as I know what I need to drop, I can just go in there and drop it. So counseling 5319, I can just go and drop it. And then I can basically choose one of those from the degree there that we showed on the screen to add, because I wanted to take 12 hours in the summer. So I can choose one of those on the screen to add to it, or should I wait to do that?
If it's being offered.
Okay, if it's being offered, okay, I can do it.
Please
Okay.
be aware that probably not all of the courses that you're going to need, even in fall, we don't always offer every course every semester. So
Right,
it might get pushed into spring or.
Okay. Okay. And Karen, the principles in counseling, is that the one where you were saying in the summer it's easier for you to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't think I'm enrolled in that one yet.
No, you're not. I'm gonna have to send you a request for an independent study.
Okay. Is that gonna be the first or second term? Or is that the whole summer?
I believe it is the first 5 weeks of summer.
First, so that's the first term?
So June 1st through July 2nd.
June 1st through July 2nd. So if I'm already enrolled in 2 classes, would I still be able to do that, or do I need to drop one?
No, you could take up to 12 hours during the summer. That's not an issue.
Okay, because see, I thought like the way when I register, it's like it'll let me do 12 hours, but it'll only let me do like the 8-week classes. Or is that going to change now because of my degree? Because it's not an online degree anymore.
Well, you're still taking the courses online.
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
online courses are like 8-week courses. So
Right.
like it only lets me register for like 2 classes for the first 8 weeks, and then it makes me register for the last 2 classes the last 8 weeks.
Yeah. And that I can't guarantee it because I've not encountered this situation before.
Okay.
But it may be different now that we'll switch. We'll have to do what's called a change of residency form,
Okay.
and also a change of program.
Okay.
So I can send that to you as well.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have to do those, and it may be different. The course length would still stay the same.
Okay.
Got
it.
But again, I can't guarantee. The other thing to be aware of, Tiffany, is that one of the changes that will happen since you're changing programs now, you will be a residential student.
Right.
So the tuition changes for residential students to take online classes. It gets more expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I just want you to be aware of that. I don't want you to get the bill and get
Okay.
because it gets more expensive, and that's because, well, a number of reasons, but a lot of it has to do with infrastructure and different kinds of fees and different things too. So yeah.
Okay. So once I start, like if the online classes are expensive, but like if it's a residential class, then it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
the typical residential tuition.
Okay, got it. So do they charge me by class? Meaning like if I'm taking 12 hours and I'm taking maybe one online class and the other 3 are residential, do they charge you that way?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
I think so. I can't guarantee because I don't have anything to do with the finances.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They don't want me handling finances. So.
Yeah. Okay, I will check on that then whenever they give it to me. I will make sure I look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Sure.
Okay, so I will go in and drop the counseling 5319. I'll make sure I go in and do that. And then hopefully it'll still let me do the principles of counseling. So on my end, I need to drop that class, and then I need to send in the TSU transcript for that transfer. And then is there anything else that I need to do on my end?
Just the
Karen's gonna send a form, right?
The
Yeah.
independent study form, and I'm
And-
filling it out as we're talking here.
Okay.
And Dr. Cook's gonna send another form, right? For to change programs.
Yes. So what
And residents?
what I'm thinking that might help you is, well, no, I have to send it in if you're going to do the independent study. So yeah, I'll send. It's a change of residency form.
Okay.
And a change of program. form.
Okay.
Yeah.
So residency form and change of program.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And
Okay.
then Dr. Frederick, you can also send us this recording as well. Is that possible?
Yeah, just so I can
The
remember.
link, if that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. So that way I can remember everything also, just in case for what I need to do. And I can also look at that page so I know what's transferring. That would be good. TSU transcript. Okay.
and I'll reach out to admissions to make sure that the application for the EPP is sent to you.
Awesome. Yeah, because I'm writing that down as well with the interview schedule.
Like, I don't want to rush anybody, but the turnaround time for everything, because I believe she said the course starts June 1st, and that's a little over 15 days.
You're scaring me.
No, so soon.
Yeah, I just sent you the request for the independent study is not going to be a problem because it's already in the system. I just sent you the document. You just fill in
Okay.
your name and address at the top
Okay.
and send it back to me for my signature. So the HBU is not having to create a new independent study. We're just, oh, good, we got this one already.
Will there not need to be a degree plan that she has signed and submitted?
Yes.
But I
can-
sent you the one. It probably shouldn't have all my markings on it, but I sent you the blank one, right, Tiffany?
Yes, you sent me the blank one. Yes.
Just sign at the bottom of that one and date it, and
Okay.
then send
I'll
that to
print
Dr. Cook.
Okay, I will print that one out.
And then I just sent you the one where I took the notes just for everybody to have. This is a transfer. Now we have a record of all your courses.
Okay, yeah, that's great too, because I wanted to look at that one too.
And if I made any mistakes anywhere, let me know. Okay.
And can someone send that to me, like the physical copy of that to me as well?
You
Yeah,
need a physical copy? I didn't make one. I just made electronic. Can I email you the electronic?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, just the file.
Okay.
Because what I'll do is take that and load it into her graduate slate file so that
Right.
we have record of that.
Okay. McGregor.
Okay, I will print that counselor's one out and then, and so you want me to email it and scan it back into you after I sign it?
Yes.
Okay, got it. I'm writing that down now.
Also want to thank everybody because
Yes, thank
y'all
you.
turned
so
a
much.
very horrible situation into something very positive. So
Yeah,
Well, we certainly don't like to mistreat our students. We
Yeah.
want to help you reach
he's
your
dealt
goal.
with my crying and my my nervous breakdowns. So he's dealt with the brunt of it.
I will send a kind of a synopsis, a report of our meeting and your concerns regarding the courses that you took in the spring, and I will send it up the line and see what they can do. HBU is not in the habit of, telling people to take the wrong courses or anything. And, we don't know for sure what happened or anything, but we certainly don't want you to have a negative experience in any way. So,
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because he was super nice. Like, I mean, he wasn't, like he wasn't like some, mean person. He was super nice. Like, I loved talking to him. It was just, I didn't get the correct information. So unfortunately, here I am. But yeah, I'm just glad that I can at least, move forward and hopefully get, what I want to be. Because,
yeah.
I've been teaching for 8 years and I'm kind of ready to move forward. So, yeah. And so I kind of want to make
ready for practicum in the
yes.
fall and spring internship and be
Yeah,
done.
I definitely want to at least be a school counselor for at least the next 10, 20 years. And then eventually I kind of want to move on with my LPC. So, I mean, that's just where my passion is. So,
It is online. You're in luck.
well, that's good. So, that's just where my passion is. And so that's just where I want to be. So if I can get on to that, then I'm golden. So
Well, thank you for being patient and understanding with us as we try to help you reach your goals. And email Dr. Cook or I with any questions that you have.
yes, thank you guys so much. Like I said, now I can enjoy my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yay. Thank you.
I'll see you this summer.
Yes, you will. A lot. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
I don't know.
You're welcome.
you.
nice to meet you.